So I have 2 hours to speak. And I promise you will not fall asleep. I am going to speak quickly, and we are going to post the slides because some of the slides are rich with content. And I'm going to weave back and forth on my journey into the land of crypto and trying to understand it. I am known for the world of gold. I've written books on gold. I have created many gold royalty companies. And HIVE was the first public company mining actually Ethereum and then Bitcoin. And now it's AI. And I'm going to explain to you that journey. And we went public in 2017, in September of 2017. And it was only in a matter of weeks that we went to $1 billion market cap. Now, why was that? It's because HIVE became a proxy. HIVE became a proxy for gold investors that were afraid of going out to buy Bitcoin. But it was this educational format that HIVE produced. And what this journey has shown in this past year, for those who are financial analysts, and I'm a money manager and the executive chair, is that HIVE does about $5 million in revenue per employee. NVIDIA does $3.6 million in revenue per employee. Apple does $2.2 million revenue per employee, and Goldman Sachs does $1 million. So this model is that when you have high revenue per employee, it allows you to have more flexibility to deal with the volatility of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, what I found in this journey of this great digital transformation, every year I go to Harvard for a week with a group of 180 CEOs from 60, 70 countries. And I've seen this progression. In 2017, it was something like about 12 or 15% was on the digital transformation. And last year, it was 70%. And I'm talking about old guys like me. I'm like the Colonel Sanders of crypto. And on that journey, I realized that there's some things that are happening. And first of all is to understand volatility. And every asset class has its own unique DNA of volatility. And before you look to go and use HIVE as your proxy for AI or for Bitcoin, it's important to recognize this volatility. So the S&P 500 means 70% of the time it's a non-event to go up or down 1%. And over 10 days, it's a non-event to go up or down 2%. That's 70% of the time. But when you go to Bitcoin, it doubles and it triples. And when you go to HIVE, it's even more so. And even bigger than us is MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor, who continues to buy Bitcoin and continues to have higher volatility. So when you go to these asset classes, you have to be a contrarian buyer that you want to buy in the down days. That's the most important factor. But most people all want to trade when it's on an up day. And because the DNA of volatility, you can make in 10 days, as you can see, on HIVE, 19%. So over any 20 trading days, it's a non-event to go up or down 20%. So why is that? Well, we're very proud of having so many firsts. First to go public, first to develop our own ASIC mining rig, first to buy data centers, first to be green energy focused, first to balance the electrical grid in Sweden, and first to have an AI strategy with our GPU chips. And our team is here. You can go by our booth and get the swag. We have hats with a Gucci bee, and we have Ben Franklin with the Bitcoin sunglasses on, because it's important to recognize what is taking place in this digital transformation, especially when it comes to money. In my world, the first digital transformation were airline mileage points, where I could turn around and have an economic value and share them with friends or family or employees. And the more I flew, the more points I got and the more I could trade. But what have you seen with mileage points? What used to only be 20,000 points to go from Europe to America is now 200,000 points. Devaluation. And that's what's happened with paper money, and that's what makes gold bugs from the old school, where I grew up, to the modern school, they want to own Bitcoin. And that is their hedge. That's what they call an alternative asset class, is the hedge. And our team is all here for anyone to come by the booth, and you can meet the team. So we use nothing but green energy. This is a visual in Boden, Sweden, 100 miles south of the Arctic Circle. Now this looks busy, and that's why I said you can go to our website and you'll be able to see it. But it's showing you that there's a long journey in the whole Bitcoin network. And what's amazing here to remember is that Bitcoin has no CEO. Bitcoin has no capital funding directly. Bitcoin is a $1.3 trillion asset with over 18,000 peer-to-peer nodes functioning all over the world. And HIVE, when we first started mining Ethereum, it was with GPU chips. And GPU chips are like driving a Porsche. Mining Bitcoin is like driving a Ford pickup truck. It's an ASIC chip. And it's so important for our transformation into AI because we're experts on managing GPU chips. When we first launched HIVE, we grew to 5% of the global network of mining Ethereum. And what I found out, whether there was all these 12-year-olds around the world that were mining Ethereum also. 30 million kids were mining Ethereum. At my age, I had a paper route. Now, kids turn on their gaming and they went to bed and they ran up the electrical bill on their parents, and if they could mine 1 or 2 Ethereum coins a year, it was like the money that I made from a paper route. And then they would go and upgrade their computers. And they also learned, if they were good on gaming, that they got digital money. So this network was huge. And when Ethereum left proof of work and went to proof of stake, the valuation between Bitcoin and Ethereum has been devastating for Ethereum investors. We sold all of our Ethereum, and we have focused on Bitcoin, but our technology in buying NVIDIA chips to mine Ethereum have allowed us to pivot into AI. So this is a recent picture of NVIDIA CEO. Is one of the most gracious, charismatic, intellectual, and phenomenal energy of an individual. And HIVE is a senior, what they call a platinum buyer, as we have purchased now about 100 million of these AI chips, these special chips. And what really took off faster than we expected was ChatGPT. To get 100 million users, it was only 2 months. And Uber took 70 months. Just have to recognize the significance of the adoption. But most of the companies were using it. And it seems to have slowed down here when you look at AI-generated content. That's only because there have become so many new providers of competitive service. Elon Musk has Grok. Grok means, do you intuitively feel? Do you feel good about this idea, about this investment? And Grok is also one of the biggest buyers of the H100 chips by NVIDIA. So we have data centers that are at the heart of the digital transformation. You have to have data centers. And for HIVE, it has been green. And if you don't have a data center, there's no cell phones, there's no Netflix, there's no game, there's no weather forecasting. And what we have found with many government agencies, they're oblivious. They're oblivious. They think it's like free. But if you do not have these, data centers, you're not in business. So with that, my presentation, I'm told, is going to be ending soon. But I want to point out that Germany's failing to keep up with the digital transformation. And it's interesting to see that it's an attitude towards the use of energy. And right now, there's a huge scramble for energy. But AI, we're only about a third of the way up. There's huge upside. And the most important part right now is having access to energy. And HIVE is green energy. Demand for AI is going to be the big revolution for financial institutions, for healthcare. Everyone in this room can live to 100 with AI because how it can analyze your blood faster, and they can turn around and look for predictive analytics for breast cancer that is a quantum leap in 1 decade. 1 decade. A quantum leap by taking a simple CAT scan that looks like a carpet, and they can say, you've got a cancer problem. That is what AI is going to do, and that is what's going to change everyone here, from wearing a ring that's going to monitor your sleep and your biohacking, the ability to biohack. If you see Jeff Bezos was a scrawny kid. Jeff Bezos is now built. He's got muscles everywhere. Jeff Bezos has been biohacking. Jeff Bezos has been one of the early adopters of AI. Jeff Bezos was originally a hedge fund manager, and he took that AI as a high-frequency trader at D.E. Shaw and built Amazon around that concept. AI, the definition started when I was born, 1955. We just know about it now, and it's had these incredible bursts of breakthrough, and this is the super surge. And so many applications, and what we're seeing is the great need, and these other companies like Amazon and Google and Meta and Microsoft, they're the competition for these chips. So HIVE is positioned for AI. We're extremely excited about it. We're extremely excited about the capacity that we have green energy, and we have the know-how for mining Ethereum. And as we're now pivoting and building out our footprint on AI, and when you look at data centers, they trade at 20 times EBITDA, and we trade at a substantial less multiple. So stay tuned to this, and remember, the biggest part about successful investing came out of MIT. And it said that you have to have a positive mindset. Because if you're not grateful that you woke up this morning or here, if you're not find something that's grateful to before, you will not find new investments, and you will not find new technology. It's the mindset, it's the growth mindset that is so important. So stay positive, enjoy the conference, come by and get your swag, and meet some of our executives that are there, and they can tell you about how we are on the cutting edge of the AI build-out. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, Frank Holmes. Thank you so much, Frank. Rock the main stage there. And bonus points for the Gucci B swag. Get yourself over to the HIVE booth.